Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the second presenter. I'm Li Yixuan from Sanxia Elementary School in New Taipei City. And I'm very glad to share something I learned in New Zealand, also some application when I was back in Taiwan. And there are three things I'm going to present in today's presentation. The first one is some useful teaching ideas, and the second one is about my action research, and last one is the reflections and inspirations. And the first one is the useful teaching ideas. I learned some ideas about differentiated instruction because we have a 1 week observation in a local primary school in New Zealand, and I found that they emphasize students' individual learning style very much, and also they use a variety of instructional strategy. And the students are given more options on how they can learn the material. So this inspiration helped me to want to apply something in my classroom. So when I was back in Taiwan, while I taught in the first unit, I also read some additional picture books to my students. And because the unit 1 topic is about fruits, so I also read the story called Handout Surprise. And I also provide more optional assessment to my students. So I designed 3 kinds of worksheets which combine the content of a picture book and also a sentence pattern practice that we are going to learn in the unit 1. So students could choose one of these 3 kinds of worksheet according to their own abilities and interests. And here are some examples and pictures while we are reading the book. The first picture is the worksheet about the story. While I was reading the story, students need to make a sequence and also match the animals and the fruits. So after they finish this is kind of resources or answers for their following homework. So I designed 3 kinds of worksheets. The first one is to draw or to describe something they like in the picture book. So students who like to draw, like to paint, they can choose this kind of worksheet. And the second one is the unscrambled sentences. Students need to unscramble sentences, and these sentences are based on the Unit 1 sentence pattern, and they need to answer the question according to the story. And the last one is the filling in the blanks. So these are different kinds of worksheets students can choose, depends on their interests and their abilities. And the second useful teaching ideas I learned is the KWLH strategy. Because I experienced this strategy in New Zealand, and I found that it's quite useful. And also, some of our partners also share that how they use the strategy on the students who were learning, and I feel quite interesting. So I want to apply this strategy in my classroom to help my students to activate their prior knowledge, and also to motivate themselves to discover what they are interested in. Therefore, my action research is going to explore the effect of using KWLH strategy on EFL learners who are learning. So next part is my action research. Actually, there are some problems in my classroom. The first one is the bimodal distribution of students' English abilities. There is a great learning gap between higher and lower level learners in my English class. And also, they show their positive learning attitudes because they only learn from the textbook instead of thinking about what they want to learn. Also, they are lack of life-related English learning context because they only learn from the textbook, so maybe the content of this textbook is not so related to their daily life. And due to those problems, I hope to use the strategy to help my students to increase their motivation in learning English according to their interests and abilities. And also to train themselves to think about what they want to learn and try to find the answers by themselves. And also to connect students' learning to their daily life. Here are some. So what is a KWLH? Actually, this is developed by the researcher called Ogle in 1987. And K means what I know, and W means what I want to learn, and L means what I learned. But she only previously developed these 3 kinds of strategies, and later some researchers also developed different strategy, like H means how I learned. So this strategy can help students to organize their thinking for their decision making, their problem solving and also to reflecting. And there are also some researchers found the positive effect on KWLH strategy, like the positive effect on English reading comprehension in EFL learning context. And also in Taiwan context, there are some positive effect on reading comprehension in different curricula. But however, there are a few studies show the positive effect on word learning. So that's what I want to do in my classroom. So here are some proposal design. The first one I'm going to introduce is the teaching focus. I'm going to teach students two parts. The first one is the words for production, means that the 7 or 8 words in each lesson in the textbook. So in this part, they need to know how to spell the words. So the assessment must be word spelling test. And the second one is the words for recognition. It means that maybe some words are related to the topic of each lesson. So in this part, students assess by the word matching test. And next one is the teaching procedure. So I would take 3 classes to finish the strategy. First class, students can show what they know about a topic and also write down some words they want to know, and also try to think about how they will find that. So in the second class is the teaching class, and then the last class is going to review and also have the post-test to show students how they learn the words. So here are some examples and the procedure in the first unit. The topic of Unit 1 is about fruits. So in the first class, students can write down some words they already know, like apple or banana, those easy words. And they also write down some words they want to know. So in this part, they can write it down in Chinese. And these words, they are going to look it up after they are at home. So they need to also think about how to find out those answers. Maybe they can ask from their parents, maybe on the internet, or maybe look at some dictionaries. So in the second class, teachers are going to teach all the words. And so in the third class is the assessment, including spelling tests and matching tests. And this represents what they learned. So here are some pictures and work we've done in the KWLH strategy. You can see a picture that these are while students work on the W column. W means what I know, but sometimes students, they didn't have lots of ideas. So I ask them to discuss with their classmates, or sometimes I will ask them to do the whole class brainstorm. And so they can have those kind of ideas and to think about what they really want to know and write it down. So here are some worksheets that students done. For example, this is a topic about fruits. So you can see that some of the students have lots of words they already know, but some are just only know a few words. But no matter they are higher or lower level learners, they can also check some words they don't know. And also there are some work on the topic of drinks. You can see that this topic, they didn't have any other prior knowledge, but they can still think about lots of words they want to know in English. And after that, after they finish the worksheet, I asked those students to share some words they found by themselves, so they can write it down on the poster, and those are the work in the whole class. And next one is the examples of my word matching assessment. And also I get some positive feedback from students after I use the strategy. So here are the results. You can see there are 3 units and with different topics. Unit 1 is for fruits, Unit 2 is drinks, and Unit 3 is about vegetables. And you can see the accuracy that, students perform better on word matching than on word spelling in the 3 units. So maybe it means that word matching test is much easier than word spelling test. And according to the accuracy, you can also see that students perform better on Unit 2 than on Unit 1 and Unit 3 in both spelling and matching tests. Maybe because Unit 2, the topic is more easier than Unit 1, fruits and vegetables. So the topic matters. Also, they show the positive attitude after they use the strategy. Among 25 students, more than 20 students think they can learn more words with the strategy, and they can also search for information by themselves with the strategy. They also like to use the strategy to help them to learn the English words. And half of them will apply the strategy to other subjects. They share that they want to use the strategy to like social studies or science subjects. Last one is my reflection and inspiration during the program. The first one is about the cultural part. Like what Vivian mentioned, that the John say that the difference is the beautiful. So this part affect me a lot. I think in New Zealand culture, they respect the difference very much. I learned that not only from the learning program, but also from the time that I spent with my homestay family. So due to the attitude, I think it's changed my teaching philosophy a little bit, because I try to adjust my philosophy to become more student-centered, and also try to respect each student's differences, and also want to provide different learning style for them, want to provide more learning resources or assessment for them. So this is all my presentation. Thank you so much.